Hello everybody and welcome to the Golden One channel. Thank you all for being here, those who have come, and I honor you all. So today we are going to be doing one facet of what this channel is going to be about, and that's going to be about card readings. I am really fascinated and passionate about pulling cards for people. It's not something I do very often because I usually use my, psychic abilities to tap in and work with people that way. But I do really enjoy using cards, and this is actually a great way where I can expand on that for myself and reach people who I may never even come in contact with any way, shape, or form. So my goal is always just to help and provide support and guidance with love, and all in ways that's for the highest good of all, always. So that is my intent here today. I'll just set a grounding prayer, a protecting prayer real quick. I've already done this off camera, but I will do so on camera as well. Typically what I do is I imagine a pillar of white light surrounding me and my experience and my physical and energy bodies and the energy of the cards themselves. And I always state that only that which is for the highest good of all may come through any reading that I do, and that applies to this reading here today. Thank you, and let us move on. So the way this all will work is essentially you, as the viewer, will choose which stack of cards here you resonate with. And if you resonate with multiple, great, then both of those messages for you, or bits and pieces of each message is for you. But essentially choose one stack, and the intention of this particular video today will be just overall guidance. It's gonna show a little bit about where you're at, it's gonna show a little bit about how you're doing, and it's gonna show a little bit about overall guidance on where to aim your arrow, so to speak. So that will head through that way. It's going to be a mix between intuitive, and I also be reading the handy oracle card decks, or books I should say, that come with a little bit more information. I won't be reading every word, but I will be reading the words that I am guided to read off through the books. As always, with any reading, I think it's important to note, whether it's with me or anybody else that you receive a reading, is that it's important to just, take it all in as it resonates. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. No harm done. Just leave it there. But if it resonates with you, then give it more thought and feel into it, see how it feels like for you. And if it's guidance, then figure out how you can apply it to your life. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. So start on the left hand side here. We're gonna start with 1 and then 2 and then 3. So if you only resonate with maybe 2 or 3 or whatever you decide, whatever you feel like is right for you, go ahead and feel free to skip to the part of the video where I begin that section. Now this is the top card, and the rest of the cards that I have pulled in each section I have not seen, so it's just going to be totally intuitive, rapid fire. Okay, starting on number 2. Oh, let's put this right over here. Okay, so number 2, we've got our first card on top, which is actually out of the crystal deck. We are going to start with this one here. It's number 17. So the resonates with the vibrations with Regulus star, which I'm not familiar with what that is. So it might be a Regulus, I should say, Regulus star. Oh, there's a space there I didn't see. Look up what that means in your favorite spiritual-minded website. So I don't know if you can see that on camera, but that is the word Regulus star right here. I don't know if that, I know there's a glare, so I'm trying to avoid that on the camera. Anyway, okay. So, we got abundance here, and then we've also got smoky amazonite for the crystal that's in the center. So we've got kind of a big cluster going on here. We've got some smokies, amazonite here. So it looks like it's two crystals in one, smoky and amazonite, because I've never heard of smoky amazonite. It could be a thing, but what I see here is an actual smoky crystal and amazonite. It could be, you know, a crystal that's got amazonite and then smoky quartz grow on top of it. So it's part of the whole same thing. Not much going on in the background. We have these two circles here with a bright pillar of white light that's going from top to bottom to top, both ways. And then we got some beautiful sparkles here. Oh, I do notice these like coins, I guess you can call them, these 3 coins. They do look like coins on each side. Not quite sure what that signifies, but if that is significant for you, then you know, I'll leave it up to your interpretation. I'll be reading off this book as well, since this is the first card. But what I do know about smoky quartz anyway, I haven't quite memorized what amazonite is, or not what it is, but what its healing properties are. You know, I definitely encourage you to look that up. Maybe look up smoky amazonite, and that's actually a real thing, common thing. I just haven't seen that yet myself, so I may not know. But I know smoky quartz is the strongest crystal for absorbing negative energy, and it is actually the single strongest crystal that can absorb the most amount of energy out of any crystal stone out there. So it's a great one for people who notice that they have a lot of negative talk patterns, you know, talking negatively about themselves, saying they're stupid or they hate themselves. It's a great one for that. It's also a great one for if you have a very negative person in your home that absorbs up all that negative energy. Place where there's maybe a lot of fights, a lot of arguing, maybe even, you know, drug abuse or just overall negative situations. That's a great crystal for absorbing that energy. Amazonite, like I said, I don't know a whole lot about amazonite, but it's got a very to the point kind of energy, but still unconditional, loving, and smooth, but very direct. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see what the card has to say here. A little bit of off topic. I am feeling good to say this, but you know, for those of you who may or may not be crystal buffs and work with the energies, or maybe you're just barely getting into that, I always tell people that ask me when I go to psychic fairs, and my girlfriend and I both sell crystals and do readings and energy healing and all that at booths, and they're always asking, well, how do these work? And I always tell them, well, it's very simple. In a very scientific way of explaining things, everything around us has what we call a toroidal field, or an electromagnetic field, essentially. And at least this is the way I understand it. It might be a little bit more complicated or slightly different than that, but you know, just reciting the best I can. But essentially everything has a frequency or field around it. So when there's a union of two energy fields that come together, for example, a crystal or stone and a person, those fields begin to talk to each other and they begin to transfer energy. And what happens is that the frequency or field of a specific crystal is like, imagine playing a song, and it's only that song ever forever. That's what that crystal song is. And you play it enough by you, and guess what? It's in your head and it's memorized. And then it becomes, you know, imagine if you listen to the same song every single day for multiple times a day, multiple hours a day, for as long as you had that song or crystal by you, or close to you, or on you, or by your nightstand while you sleep, or whatever. You know, that would become second nature to you. That would become part of who you are, essentially. The culmination that everything makes everything that makes up you. So that's kind of how it works. It's like this song playing, and you're by it. You're close enough to hear it, and so there's this transfer of energy. And the more the energy of the crystal, or the more you're by the energy of this crystal, the more your energy begins to match that vibration, and it begins to shift and change until the vibration of whatever it is that you're trying to work on with that crystal ends up rebalancing to the exact frequency of that crystal. That's how it works. That's how it works on your energy body and your mental body and your physical body and so on and so forth. That's how that works in a very simplified way. So, that being said, let's continue on with the reading. So, abundance, number 17, smoky amazonite, Regulus star. So the words here are actions, or I guess positive affirmation words would be gratitude, visualization, and mindset. So attracting abundance or living abundantly is dependent on your framed mind, and the first step in allowing it to flow to you is believing and knowing that it is possible. I think that's plenty. I will read on, but to me that's the most powerful statement you could receive here. And I will read it again. Attracting abundance or living abundantly is dependent on your frame of mind, and the first step in allowing it to flow to you is believing and knowing that it is possible. Really, yeah, enough said. So let's continue on a little bit here. I do feel like I should read a little bit more. So the universe is here to give you all that you desire. So let the law of attraction work in your favor. Begin to visualize yourself with a full bank account, being debt-free, your dream career soaring to new heights, or a fulfilling relationship. Now, I'm going to stop there and just kind of reiterate a little part here that I definitely work with the energies of manifestation and law of attraction, but there's a lot of misconceptions that people feel. And don't get me wrong, I've been here myself actually for a long time. But the reason why you want to do these visualizations and experiences is to begin to align with the version of yourself that will actually take the actions necessary and follow the intuition necessary to achieve those results. So it very strongly, requires action. That's not to say that there aren't things happening in the background that are aligning things for you. I fully believe that. Personally, 100%. I actually have had that happen in my own life multiple times, where it didn't matter what actions I took, those things still aligned. And even if I took all the actions in the world, if certain things didn't align the way they did for me, then the outcome that happened wouldn't have happened. So there's definitely things happening behind the scenes, but a lot of people get caught in this trap of all this, energy and intention and mental visualization, but don't ever take the action step, becoming the person that achieves that result, taking the actions that that person would. I feel like that's the perfect place to stop here. I don't feel like I need to move on. Actually, we'll skip ahead to one sentence here. It says, using smoky amazonite will help encourage you to be bold and speak your truth and aid you in attracting abundance. So that's a good one for you crystal lovers. Can find some smoky amazonite. You can always connect with the energies of crystals via intention too. You don't have to own it. Just so you know, there's crystals all around us. For all we know, you could be above a smoky amazonite where you sleep, and it could be in the ground 100, 200, maybe 1,000 feet down. You just never know. That's, something that's a possibility. But you can always connect with crystals even if you don't own one. The intention and the energy is the most important part, but it is very helpful to have, a crystal there for a lot of people. So a lot of people need to hold it, have that physical situation. So the second part of this card is actually a mystery card here. I pulled it and it was for decks 2 and 3, so I put it aside and I was going to allow myself to be guided to when it needed to jump in. And for number 2, it's jumping in right here. So let's see what we got. Quite a beautiful card. It says Insight. It is peach selenite is the crystal, and then it says Universal Chakra. The number is number 19, and it's a beautiful, beautiful picture. You got some light beings meditating in a circle here. You got some sacred geometry around them. These 4 peach selenite spheres or eggs right here. You got some golden rainbow light showing, and it's like in the universe. You see stars and galaxies and all these beautiful things. So that's a very powerful card, a very uplifting card. Whoever might have chosen section number 2 maybe is a big crystal lover. So using these cards, using these stones right now and connecting with these stones right now are very powerful for you at this time. So I highly, highly, highly recommend you getting these stones at your local crystal shop. Or if you really are guided to go through us, we do have a Facebook group where we post crystals. You can contact us with requests and so on and so forth. Again, you feel totally guided to do that. I'm promoting it, but I'm not saying, hey, you only shop with me. I'm saying, what you feel guided to go, what avenue. It could be your local crystal shop. It could be somewhere maybe not local, but still within driving distance. Whatever it is, go always feel guided. Anything about this card? I'm going to read a little bit out of the booklet here. So we got 17 and 19. Very interesting. So here we got Purity, healing energy, and protection. So what that tells me is that keeping your energy very pure, very sovereign, very high vibrational, just keeping yourself protected and on point, and especially not letting those around you or any external circumstances to lower your vibration at this time. For whatever reason, right now, if you're listening to this today, it's very important for you to keep your vibration high and keep your energies protected. Making sure you have the right people surrounding your life. It doesn't mean indefinitely, it doesn't mean forever, but right now, definitely doing that. Taking the steps necessary to protect yourself. So having a good mental experience or process to put up your barriers of protection. A very simple way that I have taught others to do this is to simply imagine a bubble of white light around you. Some also may have imagined, a pyramid of white light around you. Whatever feels right for you, go ahead and do that. Personally, I found the most powerful method is imagining you're in a pillar of white light, a bright light that's shining down straight from Creator or the universe or God or whatever whatever word you prefer. That light coming and emanating from there, surrounding you and reaching the center of Mother Earth, which is raising your vibration, it is protecting you, and it is grounding you all at the same time. I'm only guided to read the first sentence. It says, to gain true insight, you must go within. So, going within you shall. I'm going to pull the next card here. The next card we have is like attracts like. So this one came out inverted, and I must have just pulled these inverted. I think that's what happened here. But it's kind of the same thing no matter which way you look at it. So like attract like. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip that over. Keep that in mind. The energy that you hold, that's the energy of what you're attracting. So this is very much a pooling or a deck of tower, I guess, of cards, or an intention, overall energy of cards, of keeping your vibration high, keeping your energy sacred, your space sacred, yourself sacred, and keeping yourself protected. And while keeping that, you have abundant and beautiful results. So it's kind of like, you know, you're at the end of a race and you're tired, but if you let up, you might come in second or even third place. But if you keep on going at the same pace you're going, then you're good. You'll cross the line, first place, you're good to go. That's kind of what I'm feeling off of this deck. So even though sometimes you might allow yourself to get really frustrated, or something happens, or you know, your significant other blows up on you and you just want to blow up back because they hurt you, you know, even though that might happen initially, what really raises your vibration back is forgiveness, is love, is choosing, you know, to admit maybe some wrongs that you did, but being open and understanding that the most important thing is to be in a loving state, you know, to being in a state of forgiveness, in a state of cooperation and companionship, instead of just staying headstrong and being upset or annoyed or whatever. You know, figuring out what you need to do to harmonize the situation. It doesn't mean, you know, bend over and take it, but it does mean harmonize, figuring out what you need to do to harmonize the situation. Okay, so the next card here is the Gold and Silver Violet Flame Dragon. Very interesting card. You got some sacred geometry. We got the butterfly again that we got in the other card, but this is a different card in the other, card pull number 1. You got some sacred geometry that's both here and in the background, which's got a triangle, it's got a square, and it's got a circle within a much larger circle. Says transmutes the old around you with wisdom and grace. It's time for transmutation, magic, and healing. Offer service under grace. So I feel like that's a card that says it all. It's turning what you've learned in your life into gold, essentially. Turning the past experiences into something light and love and high vibrational. So for example, you know, maybe you had an argument, and this is a constant argument with a person, maybe family, friend, relationship partner, and you notice you've experienced this pattern before, and you can either continue the same pattern as before and stay mad at each other until someone says sorry and blah blah blah, or you choose a lighter path, a higher path. Maybe you have a little bit more of an open conversation, and maybe you apologize, or maybe you say how that truly made you feel, you know, and not engaging in the negative aspects of that. So that's what that says to me. Next card, we got the Corn. So Corn is actually a very powerful card. It's a very fruitful card. It's growth, it's life, it's nutrition, it's you know, it's abundance. Corn is very high in abundance. It grows a lot, you know, high yield. So that card is number 10, and I will be reading that real quick here, part of it anyway. I feel like I only need to read the gift section, so I'm gonna do that. Sorry, not the gift. It's in this particular deck. It's called the Medicine. I'm actually going to read 2 sections. So first I'm going to read the essence, which that to me is like the gift. I had that backwards. The order in this book is different than the order in some of the other books. So the essence, corn represents the mother of sustenance and tangible abundance. This symbol represents material prosperity in the world, a form that provides stability and sustenance to many. There's more than enough. So the medicine section, which is like beware, these are things to work on, maybe shadow work, so on and so forth. That's what this section is all about. It says beware of shortcuts to your dreams or a fast track being offered to you now. Be especially mindful of your feelings of entitlement or an expectation to get something for nothing. This is a time for gratitude, perseverance, and humility. And that's all I feel guided to say on that card. So the very last card in this is card number 39. This is called First House. Subname is Arrival, and it's got a beautiful, beautiful deer with like flowers growing all over its horns. We've also got planet Earth right here, and the deer surrounding it with this beautiful sacred geometry around it. I guess you would call this a buck. So the energy of the deer or a buck is like following the path, being on your path, your life purpose, following that deer trail that's carved out for you already, that path that's been in a way walked on already, but it's already laid for you. Following that path that you predetermined for yourself before you came into this life. That's essentially the energy behind that. Definitely look up deer or buck spirit animal and see what that comes up for you. So that particular card, let's see what it says. So first house describes how you enter the world, your first impressions, and the birth of your journey of self-discovery. If your chart were a village If your chart were a village map, the first house would be the gateway and information center. So, the first house would be the gateway and information center if you're in looking at a village map, essentially. Planets in the first house are just about to rise over the eastern horizon, where the sun would be just before dawn, so we feel them strongly. So it's a very strong astrological card, or astrological sign with this card. So for all of you who may be interested in astrology, that might be something for you to look into and see what this all feels. I'm going to skip over to the challenge and the gift because that's what I feel like. Actually, I want to read this sentence first. If you strive to be invisible, neutral, or enjoy an air of mystery and play your cards close to the chest, it becomes easier for others to project their assumptions onto you. So again, I'll read that again. If you strive to be invisible, neutral, or enjoy an air of mystery and play your cards close to your chest, it becomes easier for others to project their assumptions onto you. So it's like if you play it safe. That's what I'm feeling. It's like if you play it safe, it's going to be easy for others to trigger you or to change the external, not necessarily others, because it could be external factors that don't apply to people specifically, in your life. But external factors, if you play it safe, external factors may knock you off balance. Okay, so the challenge section here says you are challenged to see beyond the shallowness of appearances, see behind smoke screens, and take responsibility for how you are perceived. And then the gift section, it says the gift, evaluate how you interact with the world as the beginning of a journey of self-discovery. I think that's a very powerful way to leave that. So again, this one feels like it's everything. It's like guidance overall. It's like you're in a powerful state of abundance and transformation and transition, but you want to keep your energy safe. So the smoky quartz, remember when I said the energy of the smoky quartz is really good at absorbing negative energy? It's the best negative energy absorber out there. Keeping your energy high vibe. Over here we talked about keeping that energy all high vibe. Over here it's learning from your mistakes, transmuting the energies of the old into new positive ones. Here it says like attracts like, so your energy, creates the circumstances in your life. So if you have a low vibrational energy, unhappy things are going to happen. That's the things that you're going to attract and you're going to see into your life. And it's not just only about bringing them into your life, it's about perspective too. If your vibration is low, your perspective about that situation is going to be a low perspective. But if it's high, it's going to be a high perspective. Constructive criticism versus feeling judged, that's the difference. It's the same amount of information that's coming through, but on one hand, someone might feel like, oh, that's good constructive criticism. I can take that. I feel into that. I can understand where they're coming from, and I might be able to apply it in my life. Versus, oh, you're just judging me. Same situation, two different perspectives. We had the corn over here, which again is abundance. It's about having a lot. So making sure this also feels like time related. It takes time to grow corn. So maybe right now is the time to feel into that abundance. And then the full house is that last card. And that concludes all of the card pulls I have done. I hope that you have enjoyed this card reading or multiple card readings if you resonated with multiples of them. I hope it helps you in ways that's for your highest good. It reaches all those who it's meant to reach in time, and it guides you. Even if it's a small amount, I have completed my mission. So all with love, all with gratitude. This has been the Golden One. Thank you for coming to visit my channel. Please consider subscribing. Please consider liking this video if you really did enjoy it authentically. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day.